Okay, let's talk about the attitude of gratitude. So, Thanksgiving is coming for many of us in the States. And the main thing I really want to talk about is what is going beyond giving thanks. And let's talk a little bit about the energetics of gratitude because this is where the magic can really happen when we go into the space of learning about the elevation of gratitude. So stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Ash from the Awakened State. So today we are back with the elevation of gratitude. So I know sometimes gratitude lists can get a little bit of a bad rap for being fake positive or forcing yourself to be positive. But rather than looking at it from that lens, I want you to start to look at all of the beautiful benefits of thankfulness, appreciation, and gratitude in how you manifest and how you are influencing your point of attraction. And so, what I really want to stress today is learning about your point of attraction. So, our focus is truly our superpower. I believe this with my entire being. Our focus is our superpower because it shows us our true point of attraction. Right now, in this moment, the accumulation of your past thoughts, your past feelings, your past beliefs, your past habits, your past associations are what accumulated and created this point of awareness right now where you are standing. And in this knowingness, our point of attraction is showing us what we are truly manifesting in this current moment. Now, gratitude is a powerful tool to use because it shows us a lot on how we can start to amp up our awareness from a positive lens of being appreciative and thankful for what we already have in our lives. Now, going beyond being thankful for what we have in our lives, we can use gratitude as a tool to enhance our current beliefs of what we are trying to attract. And this is a very powerful way where we can start to use the power of gratitude to literally lift us up into a higher elevation of consciousness. This is a very easy, natural way to use gratitude because it helps us kind of break up the stagnant energy of resistance. And in turn, it guides us back into gratitude and thankfulness and moving forward in a positive momentum. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So when we think about how when we experience resistance, when we fall into this trap of either being upset or falling into a negative spiral or really being down on ourselves or having a rough time or even just struggling with life or whatever is occurring in our current circumstance, we feel powerless over our circumstance in those moments. So, in those moments, we feel like there is nothing we can do. We feel as if we are stuck. We are completely stuck in where we are at. So, one thing that I've learned is when I started learning about gratitude and how gratitude can change our life, I learned a lot about how we can use gratitude in times when we feel that we are struggling, in times that we are having a really, really, really hard time, where we're feeling bitter about the world, where we're feeling upset about ourselves, where we're feeling just any kind of emotion, such as grief or upset, or where we're in this space where we're angry or really upset about our life choices, we can always, in any moment, turn to gratitude and focus on being present and grateful for what we have already. And in those moments, we don't realize this, but we begin a subtle momentum that is shifting us back into alignment. It's shifting us back into a state of abundance. So, in that space, we begin to see that we are now changing the momentum and the trajectory of what we want. So just like to mention, I'm currently getting over a cold, so if my voice sounds different, that is why. Let's move on. So basically, when we look at shifting and changing the momentum, we are starting to propel a new energy, a new focus. And so when we are in this space where we feel upset or we're down on ourselves, what we can do is we can start to learn to elevate ourselves above that by tuning into gratitude. So we can use this as a tool that is changing our point of attraction. So I began to learn about this because a long time ago I was really struggling with my family, and I was just on maternity leave. I was sleep deprived. I just had a baby. I was in a horrible place mentally, and I found this book that literally just changed my life. And it was a really simple practice. So it was a 28-day gratitude practice, and throughout these 28 days, it was all about focusing on changing the appreciation of life. And so a lot of the exercises were around appreciating your relationships, appreciating what you have, appreciating like your current circumstances, like being grateful for your home, being grateful for your current amount of money, being grateful for the current amount of food in your cabinets. And then it started going beyond that, where we started looking at, well, what are you grateful for in your future? And so throughout this practice, I started to understand that the more I focused on what I was truly grateful for, what I was really appreciative in my own life, I was focusing on what I truly desire. I was focusing on looking at the lens of my life from a positive lens of, I am actually grateful for having this. And so naturally, my point of attraction magnetized more of that in my life. So for instance, I would focus on, well, I'm grateful for all of the money I've currently received in my life. And whether that's a penny or whether that's like my job or any of that, what I started to notice is I would have more awareness towards all of the ways that money supported me. And in the same way, when I would say I'm grateful for the good water we have, and I'm grateful we always have an abundance of things, I would start to notice that I would have circumstances occur where I would start to feel I would have those things. So it would be like before I wasn't aware of them. But in those moments, I would start to see more about what I currently have. So the energetics of gratitude started literally changing my focus to be focused more on the actual abundance in my life versus the lack in my life. So what I slowly began to notice with this practice is throughout the 28 days, I would start to see my awareness shift. I was no longer freaking out and like worried about certain things. I wasn't focused on the lack of things in my life, and I was no longer bitter about my current circumstance that I was having. And instead, I started to notice that my focus was now shifting to being naturally positive about where I was going. And in that moment, I really began to see something, that I started to attract different circumstances. I started to attract different opportunities. I started to attract different levels of income. I started to attract different things to help support our family. And I started to notice there was this huge momentum that was occurring under the scenes, which was showing me that the energy was literally changing the moment that I chose to focus on the gratitude, because the gratitude was changing my point of attraction, and it was starting to show me more of what I desired to see versus what I didn't want to see. And this really simple shift began to elevate me above my current circumstance to a point where I started to attract new circumstances. And those new circumstances began to truly elevate me to a place where I was no longer in the problem anymore. I was no longer bitter and upset and depressed and really like in a bad place, just honestly, mentally. And in this space of change, I started to see almost a shift and pivot occurring where this arrow, this compass I was having, started to slowly change direction because now I had that moment where I could see that my current circumstance was now changing. And I started to attract different opportunities and different solutions because I was no longer so heavily focused on the problem. And all of that occurred because of gratitude. So the elevation of gratitude is the moment you begin to see that when you're only seeing from the level of the problem, all you can see is the problem. So your current evidence of attraction will be in the loop of the problem. And in the loop of the problem, all you can see is the problem. You're trying to fix the problem. You're trying to understand the problem. You're trying to understand where the problem came from. So you basically become in the energy of the illusion versus the vision. So there's the vision and then there's the illusion. And so the problem-focused energy keeps us stuck into this illusion of perception. And so what I've learned with gratitude is an energy of appreciation. It is literally the equivalent of the energetic vibrational focus of you being appreciative of your current life, your current circumstance, and that naturally attracts and magnetizes in what you are appreciative and thankful for. So naturally, when we are focused on gratitude from an energy of pure intention, we are naturally going to start changing our reticular activating system, our RAS, to focus on what we are thankful for. So naturally, we will start to change our perception from a place where we were once focused on the lack and the problem and the circumstance, and instead we start to focus more on the present awareness of the gratitude. And it's in that present awareness of the gratitude we start to focus on changing the momentum of the channel that we're on, and that gratitude begins to create a momentum of positive, focused energy that is literally empowering your vibration. So when I began to do this on a consistent basis, I began to start creating gratitude challenges. And this has been kind of like a core concept of my brand is we've done gratitude challenges together throughout the years. So recently I decided to bundle up the Awaken Bliss Creator Challenge and turn it into a book so you can practice your own version of the gratitude challenge. And what I've done is now it is a physical copy. I'm so excited. Okay, so it's now a physical copy and it's going to be released in December. But so what I just want to show you today is I want you to see that I have it different than what is normally taught. Normally, you're taught to do gratitude from a level of just writing down a gratitude list. Now, what the Awaken Bliss Creator does is instead we look at 3 types of gratitude. So we have our past gratitude, our present gratitude, and our future gratitude. And I think this particular layout is a really powerful way to clean up your energy. So I want to talk about that a little. So when we think about gratitude, I want you to think about it like this. When you're in a space of being grateful for your past, when you're in a space of being grateful for your past, you're kind of like making peace with your past. So when we're grateful for our past, this can be quite challenging. And in this space where we have to really kind of look at being reflective. not all of us are always so reflective about our past. We don't always want to go to our past. We don't always want to think about our past. So what this does is giving 5 statements of gratitude for your past is about evaluating self-reflection towards the good that happened in your past. So we start to look at gratitude from a lens of being grateful from a space of how can I be grateful for my past and what brought me to this moment here. In present gratitude, we focus on what we're currently grateful for in this moment. So we focus on what am I grateful for currently that's happening in my life. I'm grateful for, the clothes on my back. I'm grateful for that I have a warm home. I'm grateful that I have good water. I'm grateful that I have a loving, healthy family. All of these things matter. And the more we focus on them, we start to bring them into our current pattern of awareness. And that becomes more of our truth versus what we don't want. Now we also have future gratitude. Future gratitude is about looking at reality from a lens of what are you grateful for that you would like to pull into your future self. And so when we use gratitude as a tool to be thankful for the things that we desire to manifest, we are putting a positive lens on what we wish to attract for our future. And so when we do this as like a triad tool of gratitude, it starts to help us cultivate this energy of where we're moving away from the problem and we're now elevating into the solution from a space of, well, I'm actually grateful for this. I'm actually grateful for that. And so what this inevitably does is we make peace with our past and we start to create in the present moment, all through gratitude. Because gratitude is the number one catalyst to push yourself back present and get away from resistance. Because the resistance is occurring because you're not making peace with the past. So in this practice of what I've created in the Awaken Bliss Creator Challenge, that's going to be released in December, is we're starting to look at gratitude from this beautiful lens of moving us into a place where we're changing our point of attraction to naturally focus more on what we desire to have versus what we don't want. So I invite you to try, as we are in a special week of learning about gratitude, to start to enable this focus into your own life and see physically how it changes you. See physically how it shapes your energy differently, and how when you have that important focus of looking at gratitude for your future, for your past, for your present, and how it molds and shapes your reality differently. This is one of the easiest ways to hack manifestation because it helps you get into a better focus. Okay, I'd had so much fun with this video. This is the first video post-cold, so I hope everything's comprehensible. All right, if you have any questions, just drop them below. The Awaken Bliss Creator Challenge will be released in December. I'm very, very, very excited about it. We're hopefully getting on Amazon, which is going to be fun. All right, you guys have a good weekend.